Now, from the studios of Into Tomorrow in Miami, this is ITTV.
Our next guest founded a tech company whose mission is to push the boundaries of what is currently available in VR, AR, FX spaces, among others. The CEO of a company called Exploring Digital is Dave Walens. Dave, welcome Into Tomorrow. Thanks for coming on. How are you?
Thanks for having me, and I'm doing great.
Terrific. Tell me a little bit first about Exploring Digital, and then let's get in specifically to what we're going to talk about today.
You bet. So Exploring Digital is actually a startup. We're based here out of Atlanta, Georgia. We actually started the company in 2021 and have been building it ever since, and with exciting team and products to boot.
And of course, for most of our regular audience, they know what all the various terms refer to: VR, AR, FX spaces. But of course, virtual reality, augmented reality. What is FX?
Those are effects that we're doing, right?
Gotcha.
So we're doing all types of movie production and doing special effects for production films.
Oh, very cool. So is it very much business-based then, like for professional studios, or are there some things that us consumers can be involved with Exploring Digital?
Well, on that end of the business is mainly business to business, as we're doing, full-length feature films all the way down to commercials, even music videos. So we're doing it in a unique way where we're shooting it on some new technology, but it's mainly business to business focused on that particular product.
Okay, gotcha. And I understand after 20 years of fabrication work, you decided to start this Exploring Digital. So why the change? What spurred you to do that?
Dave, that's a great question, and I appreciate it. So, we have been building physical environments for many years for companies that actually do all types of events and experiential exhibits. So we built some of the most complex exhibits around the country. And along our path, we actually invented a product. And we have about 3 years ago, invented a product that at that point in time, we saw what could be, and it was a space to support virtual reality. We applied for our patents, and we wound up getting our first one about a year after we made the application. And what it was based on is the floor, the wall, the haptics movement that's going on inside. It could be vibration, it could be wind, it could be gusts of air, it could be transports like an elevator.
Wow.
It could be smells, all inside this environment that's mapped in a virtual reality environment. We got our first patent in 2020. Our second patent was in 2021, and by the end of 2021, we got our third patent on this room, along the time that we were actually developing all the content for the inside of the room.
Cool. And now, is this what you guys are calling the Megaverse?
In fact, it is. So the Megaverse was a product that we started, named it almost, again, a year and a half ago. And, Meta did us a favor by bringing the Metaverse to the forefront.
Yeah.
But just great timing on our part, I guess. But the Megaverse is the name of our virtual reality theater.
Oh, very cool. And Dave, the Megaverse sounds like the closest I think we've heard about yet to the Star Trek holodeck from what you've described with haptic feedback and effects and that kind of thing. So it sounds like a perfect opportunity with your company to actually get us that much closer to something like that. And you're calling it a VR room, right?
It is. It's a VR theater. And the reason that we call it a theater is that we've been developing content. We have close to 10 different experiences that we've already created inside that room. Everything from a 4-story escape room that you're in a pirate ship.
Wow.
And by solving clues, you go up by elevator to the second floor, then the third, and eventually to the fourth if you're good enough to get off the pirate ship. It's about a 30-minute play. All the way to a VR dodgeball game that we call Megaball. That's a 3-on-3 competition that's very fun and active. So, and everything in between. So we have haunted house escape rooms that we have developed. We've got a little shooting range. We've got oh gosh, what else am I thinking?
Well, I'm thinking as a former police officer, you already got my attention with a shooting range. So that sounds like it might be something to experience right there.
Well, they're a lot of fun, and we've developed these for really age-specific groups. As we've learned over time, very quickly that different groups like to do different experiences.
Sure.
So it was incumbent upon us to really develop these, and along our path, our we wound up acquiring our content developer who was doing all the beta testing with us on the very beginning of this, and it's our studio that is now based in Mobile, Alabama. A group called Third Realm Creations, an incredibly talented group who've been working in VR since 2010 in the movie industry for over 15 years. So they have really helped us in developing our content and building the company in a new and exciting way.
Well, because certainly one of my questions was how is the Megaverse so different from other VR headset games? And you've already explained a couple of really good examples. For example, you talk about the dodgeball. I mean, are you actually somehow feeling that you are the one hit in that round with the ball?
We have some haptic feedback on that, so that is correct. But what makes this unique is that we are free walking inside of our environment. And we are multiplayer, so we actually have 6 people in the experience at the same time. And we, in fact, are all avatars playing against each other, and they're all customized inside that environment. So we actually are playing against each other, but instead of picking it up and throwing it, we actually have a shooter that we designed, our custom shooter for it. And you pick up the ball in your shooter, and then you fire it at somebody, and you hit them.
Wow.
And you have points against each other. So a lot of fun, a lot of activity, and it's a darn good workout all at the same time.
Oh, it sounds like it is by all means. And you're not tethered then with any cables. You say it's all wireless, and you're able to have that many people in the room without running into each other? Is it because they're seeing each other's avatars and we know where our opponents and our teammates are?
Exactly. So we're, the design of the room and the patent all incorporates our mapping of the VR. So we actually do see each other's avatars and interact with each other. We could talk to each other and communicate with each other. So we're strategizing with each other, and it really changes VR in a huge way. Instead of one-to-one where we're shooting zombies or we're shooting aliens of some sort, we're really in there collaboratively, and it creates what we call a real blended reality, where you start to forget you're in virtual reality, but you're actually interacting just like you do in real life.
Well, now, Dave, would the next step be able to be that you don't have to even be in the same room? I mean, certainly you play games currently, even with VR, with people from literally across the world, around the corner, whatever. Would this be a similar type thing with Megaverse? Would you do that as well?
Absolutely. You could tell you're in the tech business. So yeah, once you're in a Megaverse, you could be one in California, one here in Atlanta. And as long as we start the game at the same time, we can compete against each other.
Wow.
So yes, you can have multiple people around the world being in the same play at the same time.
It sounds like there's a whole bunch of tech that can be done and accomplished that Exploring Digital is working on or will be slightly into tomorrow, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. We use this for the entertainment world, and we're having a great time creating these experiences. And our team is dedicated to producing about 3 to 5 of them a quarter. So
wow.
The theaters will never get old. We hope that there will be something new and fresh and exciting to do, including SWAT games that we're working together on, some more escape rooms that we're working on. So we're always creating, and then of course we have many other markets that we're developing simultaneously. Education is a big important area for us, so we've got some interesting plays that we're working on there. We also work a lot in the training field. You said you're a police officer, and we're in fact working on police training in this virtual world, which really brings it to a whole nother level.
Oh, yeah.
When you're in there with multiple people all working on the same issues at that moment. So training is going to become very dynamic. And so we have a lot of big plans for the environment in its own right, and all really it's all in our imagination to really accomplish what we want to do.
That's a great way to put it. And kudos to you and your team, Dave, because it sounds like you've got a plethora of ideas, not only being worked on, but into the future, into tomorrow, to be able to really work with this. Now, do you sell headsets? Do you sell VR headsets as well? Is it something that, again, at the moment is really more business to business, but do you foresee the opportunity for consumers to be able to get involved with things that Exploring Digital is doing?
Absolutely. So the way that this is going to be structured at the beginning is Megaverse will be installed at any of your family entertainment centers. So these are things like Stars and Strikes, Sky Zone, the Dave and Buster's of the world. These are the types of environments that Megaverse is going into. OO, which is a big theme park down in Alabama, is committed. So these will be starting to pop up all over the country, so that you'll have a chance as a consumer to go play any and interact with any of these games, which will be a lot of fun. So from that end of the world, the consumers will have access to it and really get to experience. Really, in this environment, it's kind of what's been talked about now for several months, and that about the metaverse, about being an avatar in an environment. And while others are talking about it, we're excited that we're actually doing it, so people will really get to start to experience it and see what virtual reality can truly do.
Love it. Well, keep up the good work and keep up the creativity. No doubt your team is excited about the things they're doing, and they don't stop. And that's encouraging, too. I can already tell we're going to have to get you back on again soon. There's more to cover, more to talk about. Be sure and keep us informed as well as to the new things you guys are working on, and we can share that with our audience. And in the meantime, we invite you to visit Dave's website at Exploring Dig. Like Exploring Dig, only it's for Exploring Digital, exploringdig.com. And of course, we'll get you there when you visit us. Dave Walens, the CEO of Exploring Digital, looking forward to chatting with you again into tomorrow.
Thanks, David. I appreciate it.
Our pleasure, by all means. exploringdig.com for more. Visit intotomorrow.com. We'll get you there, as we do with all of our guests. So, and again, reminder to our radio audience, come and see the video of this interview so you can check out the kinds of things that Dave and I, the other Dave, we're talking about at intotomorrow.com. I am Dave Graveline. We continue bringing you further into tomorrow. Stay tuned right here on the Advanced Media Network.